This is Hot Takes with Holton. Special guest, Mr. Holton today. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. You know, you're my dad. I know a decent amount about you, but born and raised in.
So, born and raised in California, one of the very few. Seems like everybody came here from somewhere else. Um, Most of my life, I was raised here in Los Angeles. Kind of a beach rat. Played volleyball, um, and did a little stint of a couple of years in Illinois as a young kid, and almost
I didn't know about that.
yeah. It was my dad was doing a PhD, I think, at Northwestern University, and I almost died of pneumonia. So
You
they
would-
des-
you
they decided they got to come back to
We got-
California because we're gonna lose this kid.
This cold is gonna kill this man. I mean, all I really know, all I really care about your childhood is how you basically ate peanut butter jelly sandwiches for what, elementary school until almost high school.
I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day of my life through elementary school, and I could live on that.
I can also live on that. You've given it to me. I'm a peanut butter fiend. Some
It-
people love chocolate. No.
No, peanut butter is quite possibly. I think maybe strawberries. It's in like that top five of best foods ever.
Like, just it combines great with everything. It's in a million chocolates. It's in a million everything. Just 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Okay, so first topic. We're coming out with a great one. What do you think my biggest like fuck up was? Like my driving the lawnmower into the pod.
Okay, this
or-
is this is things you've done wrong.
Oh yeah, things I've done wrong.
Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
want to know.
Uh, well, the list is long. I mean, that could take the entire podcast.
I know. I've I'm 21, man. We've had time.
Let's see. You've electrocuted yourself in
Okay,
electrical
we don't need to
socket.
list them all.
You sawed all of our plants in the backyard. Gosh. Actually, my wife would be better at this. She rattles them off like this.
She is too good of a memory at this point.
Yes. No, basically, if it could be broken, you would break it.
To this
We
day.
literally, anything that we would hand to you, we would immediately start watching because it would be broken within.
I think it is to this day that I am breaking prone of everything in sight.
Yeah. I mean, probably something's going to go wrong in the middle of this podcast.
Yeah, it might just shut down right here now.
Exactly.
Okay, so I know you worked with Disney for a little bit of your time. I enjoyed that time. I got to see some cool stuff. Went to
Yeah.
see the Avatar land. That was probably the coolest thing out of all the things.
That was unbelievable.
Insane. I tell all my friends about it. I'm like, this is the ride to go on for the rest of your life.
It is still one of the best rides that Disney's ever created, and we got a chance to on one of my business trips take the kids. The thing about the ride is that it combines visuals and sensory. You feel like you're on that beast.
Yeah, it's like the soaring over California, but like 10 times better.
Yeah, and that's partly the inspiration for it. I was fortunate enough to actually be the project manager on the haptics. There's sensations where you feel the beast breathing in your legs,
Dang.
and you feel the rumble of the beast. So it was super fun. We worked with James Cameron on that, and he is an amazing person. He is so gifted creatively, but then he can do circles around everybody, even our own engineers, with respect to technical stuff.
Are you excited for Avatar 2?
Well, I believe I'm excited for it visually. I gotta believe that it's going to be hard to create
The
something.
story is going to be
Yeah, I mean, the magic of it was transporting you to another world. the story was kind of a classic story. Good.
It was a good story, but the CGI was the selling part. I was like looking at it, I was like, wow, like this is really something special. Like they got people looking like people.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll do something visually, particularly since they're going to be now dealing with water. It will be different.
The water looks insane in the trailer.
It does.
Really magical.
But I still feel as though, kind of the world has passed it by, and it's going to do well, but not well enough that it justifies 3 more of those.
No, when I saw like 2, 3, 4, and 5, I was like, oh, we're not even at 2. We don't know if it's gonna go well, but a lot of people are excited.
Big bet.
Yeah. So in your time at Disney, you probably had, everyone does in their job, their highs and their lows. What was your favorite part, most exciting part at Disney, and what part could you care less about and you wish you never did again?
Well, first of all, I was a producer, project manager of projects at the Disney's Imagineering R&D and Disney Research area, and the project that was the most fun was being able to create an AI character, a character that would interact with guests, just have a regular conversation with them. That project has kind of morphed. I'm retired now. That project has morphed into the things that you see at the Galactic Cruiser, some of the stuff that's going to be still coming out. But that was the pinnacle of
like,
fun.
I created something super cool. Like this is.
Yeah, I got to be a part of. There was a team.
You didn't build it.
Yeah, there was a team like 30, 40 people, and they're all brilliant. But just being a part of that and daydreaming about what it would be like to be talking to Dory.
That would be pretty cool.
That was just seeing the future. I mean, the thing about Disney Imagineering and the projects we do, they don't all make it into the parks because it's really hard to make something that works great for guests and can be repeated and can be bulletproof and is an amazing experience. But you do get to see, you get to play with the future.
Yeah. Do you think that Disney, especially Disney World, since it has so many visitors from all over the world, do they think of other countries and cultures when they're building things or making things besides the U.S., even though it's in the U.S.?
Yeah, so I think there's 2 ways to answer that. One is they are very hypersensitive, as you can see by the Disney parks in China, to making something that feels like it's reflective of the culture, but still has that Disney magic in it. So that is one of the most important things to Imagineers. But then the second part of the question answer is really, in a sense, there are a lot of things that are just magical for everybody.
That's true.
And so, yes, you want to be sensitive to cultures, but people
are gonna love it if it's Disney. Like if they see Mickey Mouse, I'm having a smile.
Yeah, and the characters themselves are universal. People, no matter where you are in the world, love seeing a Marvel movie, love seeing a Frozen. So those characters by themselves make it easier for the Imagineers to know that it's just going to delight everybody.
So that's a great transition in the movies and stuff. Recently, in the last 2 days, I've seen one great movie and one quite mediocre. I'm not gonna lie. Yesterday, I saw Top Gun Maverick, quality movie. I hadn't even seen the first Top Gun. Quality movie, really great. I didn't need to know what happened in the first one. They basically told you, and it was a great movie. Tom Cruise, immaculate. The other guy who played the son, don't know his name, pretty great. He had a cool stash. The second movie, Doctor Strange 2, it was not as good as I thought it was going to be. It was
because it was confusing?
No, it wasn't even confusing. I knew what was going on the whole time. It was pretty lackluster. There was one cool fight scene, and the rest I was like, eh.
So maybe it was too much story and not enough
they tried to do all these like cool like, oh, we're messing with your brain, but they didn't really do anything. And me and all my friends were like, this. I mean, I'm happy I saw it because it has some important stuff.
It sets up everything.
It's kind of like I feel like WandaVision in general and the whole Scarlet Witch is a lot of setting up right now. I think eventually it's going to be really cool, but the series itself, like the TV series, I thought it was all right. I watched it because I need to.
Yeah, that's like supposed to be one of the best of the series.
It was all right. Julia likes it.
Now you're quite a critic though. You didn't like Batman. You didn't like Doctor Strange. You're quite possibly not the target audience
so all
anymore.
the Batman lovers out there, I like Batman, but this Batman was not that great. It was so cheesy. Have you heard all the bad stuff about Morbius?
Yeah. That's
so.
But I mean, I think maybe that's deserved to a certain extent. Whereas I think Batman was what they advertised it, and
it was exploding cars and freaky. I don't know. Have you watched any movies recently or any shows you recommend?
Gosh, I haven't been able to, COVID and all. I haven't gone out to the movies, so I still want to see all these big blockbusters, but I'm a huge Star Trek fan. And
okay, you're one of like 1,000 maybe that like Star Trek. I want you to know.
No, Star Trek is infinitely more interesting than Star Wars. As much as I love Star Wars, Star Trek is the pinnacle of showing you what humanity can become. What they did recently is they put together, it's called Strange New Worlds. It's a precursor show to the original. So it's supposed to happen like 10 years or so prior to the original. And it's everything you loved about the original. Feeling like you are dealing with human characters in foreign situations. It's not this like, oh, the whole universe is going to fall apart unless they save it. That's what everything is turned into. The whole universe is dying.
Okay, but like Star Trek is such an involved story. I feel like you have to be a true fan
it goes
to
back,
really enjoy it.
It goes back to your favorite phrase. You need to have a big brain.
Oh, you do need to have a big brain sometimes.
Yeah,
you just want to understand you don't have a big brain.
Yeah, big brain is because you're going to be thinking knowledge. You're going to be thinking. You're going to be seeing the emotions of the characters. You're going to feel that world, as opposed to it's just for fun and play. Star Wars, there's not.
It is a very for fun.
I love it. I thoroughly enjoy it, but it is more about the pure fun and amazement.
So you say Star Trek?
Star Trek has a message.
Do they just came out with something new though?
Yeah. Well, there's not a new movie, but like I said, Strange New Worlds is the new series, and it makes you think. It makes you think in a way that things like Black Mirror really make you think.
Did you watch all Black Mirror?
I've made it through quite a few, but not
because
all.
There are some interesting episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Twilight Zone and all those.
You ever watch the one where it was the mom could see what the daughter was seeing through like the film in her eye or whatever?
Ooh, no, that sounds
It was
cool.
crazy. And they could censor stuff if it's like gory or inappropriate. They could censor it through like a contact. And I was like, that's going to become a real thing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you saw those Apples coming out with the virtuality
so
glasses.
we could have stopped you from breaking all the things.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this is a valuable technology. I thought it was kind of creepy.
Black Mirror, you're onto something here. We need to buy that on. Oh my. Okay, well, doing a little 360. This has been on my mind for a little bit. The playoffs for basketball, very interesting. Golden State, I'm a hater of Golden State. Hate them.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Laker baby.
We can end this podcast right now.
Yeah.
That's that shouldn't be said.
I don't care what's happening this playoffs. Lakers aren't in it. Don't really care. But Celtics are winning. Period. But
Boo-hiss.
Going back to the Lakers, do you think they should trade LeBron, trade Westbrook for whatever they can get. I don't know what they can get for him. What do you think the best move is? I'll preface this with saying I don't think it's smart to move LeBron.
Okay, I think I'm going to agree with you in the sense that you should get rid of everybody else and just find a way to get LeBron's brawny son and just market that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the Lakers are going to be a championship team for another 5 years.
They traded all their picks away. They don't have that much talent. They have talent, but they're no Celtics. They're no Bulls young talent.
There, and LeBron is fantastic, and he will still continue to be great, and he will fill seats.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm buying a ticket.
He might even attract one other high, talented star once you've cleared the decks.
DeMar DeRozan.
He
wanted to go to L.A.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good enough, I don't think.
We could get a stacked team with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, I think that the Lakers.
What's the best move? Just
ship
them all off.
Look what the Warriors, went through. 2 years of not being in the playoffs.
Okay,
and
they
rebuilding.
were injured though.
I know, but look how it's helped them.
That's true.
Right? So it's much better to take yourself down than to just keep trying to knock against a brick wall of the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, the owner was like, we spent the most out of any team. We're in the top 4, and we didn't even get into the playoffs. She's like, I'm disappointed. I'm like, yeah, we're all disappointed. I am there with you. But they're not that sad. I mean, they just got billions of dollars for what? Bitcoin.com? What is it called? Crypto.com?
Crypto.com.
It's so awful.
Yeah, no, I will never probably call it that.
I think it's Staples Center until I die.
Yeah, and I never even liked Staples.
I literally
was
like,
store.
I was like, Staples must spend all of their money just to have Staples Center. I don't think I've ever gone to Staples, the store itself.
No. It,
especially
but it was
with Amazon now.
It was. I mean, there's somebody who's really made their career just by having told Staples, "Wow, we got to do this."
Yeah, I mean, they're forever a household name.
Yeah.
Okay, going off of this Crypto.com, the market's awful. I see red every day.
Yep.
It's gonna continue to stay red for quite a bit.
Yeah, I haven't lost this much money ever.
It's just
maybe in the .com crash I did, but
it's horrendous.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on Bitcoin, NFTs? It's been pretty volatile recently, especially with the whole Luna crashing to basically 0 cents, and NFTs are on the rise like wildfire. Older perspective on it. What is your take?
So Ethereum will probably take over. It's a good bet because it is you can actually develop applications and NFTs, and you can there's a functional purpose for Ethereum. Bitcoin is just fool's gold. There's no inherent value to it. I think that 10, 20 years from now, things like NFTs,
I feel like NFTs are going to be huge.
It will be. I don't think people should be investing in them to try and make tons of money, but I do think you should realize everything you're going to do is going to have a digital version that you can buy into. When you go to the store, everything you buy, they're going to say, well, do you want the digital version of that too? And you're going to be placing it into your meta world. So it will become
Kindle and a real book. NFT is your Kindle, basically. It's a little different. It's the same thing, but it's a little different.
It is, and I think we're going to look back, and it's going to be something where people will be like, well, what wasn't there always social networks?
Okay, hot takes with Holt. I think Facebook or Meta is going to be run into the ground by end of 10 years. It will not be a company anymore.
I think Facebook will still be around. I don't think it's going to look anything like what it is right now. I think they're going to go deeper into the plumbing, and parts of them will be spun off. They have way too much money to just
Yeah, how
fail.
big is Facebook?
I forget its market cap, but when you've got that much cash,
Because they own Instagram. They own
no company has ever vanished that had that much cash.
True. That's like saying Microsoft's going to be gone. Like, no.
Well, and they were predicting that. They were predicting Google was going to destroy them, Apple was going to destroy them, and
Now
look
it's like
at
one of the safest stocks you can buy.
it is. But I do believe that Facebook being as important and looking like it is, not going to happen. I mean, we kept thinking, oh, we're done. We've innovated and everything, and then TikTok comes along, and it's just
that was out of nowhere.
eating people's lunch.
Vine and TikTok was popped out of nowhere, and it was exactly what the world wanted, and it was the most popular thing, still is to this day. It was kind of crazy, but this is where it might get a little controversial now. We're getting into some very, very hot takes.
What, boxers or briefs?
Oh, that's not a debate. That's not a debate. We're not even going to say the answer to that. Everyone knows. Everyone knows at home. DC
It's a generational thing.
Yeah, a generation. DC or Marvel?
Gosh.
DC's been putting out bangers recently.
Okay, so
TV shows included.
Well, from a show's point of view, Marvel is just got the best shows.
Really? I was
Hands
about
down.
to say DC is the better shows.
No, Marvel has the best shows. I think, the DC characters. I love the DC characters more than I love the Marvel characters. I mean, but
who's your favorite character then?
Well, Wonder Woman was always my favorite character, but Batman is by far the most interesting character in all the universes.
I'll give him that. The way he has no superpowers and still fights the most villainous people in the world baffles me.
Yeah, and so Batman really should have been a Marvel character. Like, Marvel does complexity of characters and much better. Like, the world would have been right if you just put Batman over in Marvel and everybody else. Yeah, I would ship him to Marvel.
I would ship Spider-Man to DC and take Batman.
That would be a great fair trade.
Even though Spider-Man is such like an iconic person now, especially with
he
Tom
is, but he's
Holland and
playful. DC does really well with playful, funny.
They got the Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you ship Batman, do you have to ship Joker as well?
Yes, because Joker is very much more of
They
a
go hand in
Marvel style
hand, yeah.
character.
He's
Problems.
much more like a Thanos,
Yeah.
a little bit in a way. Well, then what's your favorite DC, I don't know, movie or TV show? Or
Well, the TV shows, gosh,
I thought their Batman series were always so good.
Yeah. Well, you know what I love in DC? I love their animated movies. They just put out an animated movie about Catwoman.
Oh.
And it's amazing. There's one sexual tension scene between Catwoman and Batwoman.
There's a Batwoman?
There's a Batwoman, and the sexual.
That's some
I didn't
lesbian
think
action going on.
It was exactly.
That's crazy.
I can't believe
to
that
watch
in
this
animation
show.
you could create lesbian sexual tension and pull it off and still have it be PG.
Is this song like?
Although she does subsequently get into the bathtub, and so you're.
What show is this?
This is.
Why didn't they popularize this more?
Catwoman. It's a Catwoman movie that just came out. It's like on HBO Max.
Wow. Okay, I did watch the live action Catwoman that was in the new Batman, and I think she's a different one than before, right?
She is.
She was pretty good. She's having her own movie.
She's really good. I think I really liked more like I would like more like the Halle Berry kind of the strong.
That's what I said. The Halle Berry was the one
she's
for me.
She's a great actress, but I think you need somebody that is more athletic and kind of taller, stronger,
badass,
and to really pull it off.
I can get behind that. So we have pretty different music tastes, dare I say?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you've probably heard some of my music.
We can't play your music in most
No.
social
No.
proper settings.
Okay, what are you talking about? My rap music? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't really listen to rap anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big EDM person. You know, und Spootskatze, you know. some old person.
See, like I can't tell the difference between when that's good EDM and when it's bad
Okay,
EDM.
yeah.
Because it all just sounds like
It all sounds the same to you? You know.
It all sounds good and it's all a good beat.
Yeah.
But like what makes one that much better than the other?
Okay. So, if I'm at a concert, you know, if a song is like, wow, this is crazy, like, everyone's obviously not sober, so it helps a little bit, you know. Anything can make someone happy when they're a little drunk. But I'll say a good song definitely hinders on, you know, how much buildup there is, you know, my like anticipation.
Makes sense.
It's all about the anticipation. And then honestly, I felt like even though songs can be really good, you know, I love this song. It's a lot on the performer, obviously. So if the DJ's not
the way they are the way they are physically doing it, or the way they you know, are
I know
mixing things.
Yeah. It's a combination of both. My favorite guy right now, his name's John Summit. He's a performer. So when he performs, he's in it physically, and like the mix itself, you can tell. I watched one of his videos recently. He had a set at EDC in Las Vegas. Crazy. They got these huge structures and lights everywhere. It is insane.
So is everybody who does this deaf?
Basically, I've been to these concerts multiple times. I'm like, I can survive this, but for how long? Like, these guys go every night to play in the clubs.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's painful to, but you can't stop your toes. As soon as you're hearing music, some part of your body has to move.
I think universally, EDM and dance music, you could say, is definitely the most universal. Get down and just have a good time. You don't need to know the words because there's barely any words to begin with.
And if you don't know the words and there's only 5, you're really in trouble.
And then you're really in trouble. But still, then you can just like groove, and you don't need to know dance moves. Nothing.
Yeah.
You just, and it's pretty easy to follow. I feel like you know when the bass drop is coming. You know when all this and that. But then when you get caught off guard, that's when it's like, whoa, that's what really gets you.
Yeah.
So when they make that like mix or transition between songs, and I'm like, wow, like I didn't even think of that. Like such a good transition. That's when I'm like, this guy's a good DJ. This guy's this and that.
There's true talent in making those transitions.
Yeah. I mean, I had a little inspiration in my sophomore year. I thought I was going to be the next DJ. I really thought, I was like, I know the best songs. I live and breathe house music.
We all have that moment
and
where we think, I'm going to be...
It's so easy to go, boop, 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 boop. Like, nah, it's not that easy. You always think until you get up there and you're like, wow, this is a lot of random knobs.
It's that, you know, I always think, you know, like you have to fail a lot to be successful. But, you know, you do it and you're thinking this is great. And then you play it back for a friend.
Oh, jeez.
And that's the moment where you're looking at their face and you're going,
How do I politely sell you?
Yeah.
This is amazingly garbage.
Yes.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I mean, you gotta have those people in your life, though.
You do.
If you don't, then I don't know, man.
Well, you know, that's the problem. People like Elon Musk don't have people like that.
Okay, but like Elon Musk isn't.
He's got the whole world telling him he's garbage, but he needs somebody he trusts.
He has his one right man. You always see that one guy. He's everywhere. I saw a video about it. It was crazy. He's like, this guy is part of like the top 100 richest people in the world, and he's just because he's Elon Musk's second man. I was like, yeah, I need to be there.
I know. I mean, so like the only thing that we did wrong in our life is we didn't have the right friend.
Come on. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need
to ask from you. Okay, so we're gonna get into some questions here, and I haven't thought of a name
42.
of this. 42. Question number 43.
Yeah.
How? Okay, so the aim of this section we're gonna go into real quick is you can either answer the question or you can take a shot of lemon juice.
Oh gosh.
I was gonna make it some like vodka or something, but I was like, you know what?
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna do that, you should have started the
Yeah,
interview
I
that way,
should have
'cause
started it like
then
that.
the answers would have been far more
Oh.
interesting.
We would have gotten some nitty gritty stuff right there.
Some very unpublishable stuff.
Yeah. How do we cut that out, man? So we're gonna start off easy. Where is one place you want to travel to before you cannot travel no more?
I really want to see Alaska or Antarctica.
Alaska.
I just want to see one of these amazing kind of glacial, right on the bay.
Like during wintertime, summer, or
It doesn't really matter when. Probably better that it's not during the dead of winter. But
look
just
at the icicles.
I
I
just-
feel like an icicle.
I just want
man.
to see penguins.
Let me see a damn
not at
penguin.
not at a zoo.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I'm still to this day. We're gonna go to Japan one day. I have it lined up.
That is a really fascinating
It
place.
will be magnificent, and you can see Mount Fuji. You can see all these really culturally amazing places.
Going to China is still probably one of my best
Yeah,
trips
I
ever.
forgot. You went, and I remember you took one picture, and it was on the Great Wall, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And it was so smoggy that it didn't even look like you were standing in nature. It was like brown air, basically.
Yeah, unfortunately, during that time period,
was
all of the
insane.
Beijing area was painful to breathe. But China, this was the 90s that I went. It was just, it was such a different world.
They didn't Americanize yet.
Well, they hadn't Americanized yet. We were taking one of our companies to partner with some of the telecom operators there, and fortunately we had a person that could take us around. He spoke the
That would
language.
be
We would have been lost
impossible.
because I'm 6'2", and I'm walking around in Shanghai, and I'm like a head above a
yeah.
sea. There were like
Especially in the
thousands
90s.
thousands of people, and they would all as soon as I would
Felt
walk
like
out
an
in the
NBA
street,
star
they
right
would
there.
just descend on me. They would just descend on me like and I gray hair now, but I had blonde hair then. They just look at me like I was a space alien.
Wow.
And then the thing that was dangerous is they would put us in this little car, dinky little car that I barely fit, and they would drive, and we'd be driving, and there'd be this mass of like 300 bicyclists coming towards us,
Jeez.
and the guy would he wouldn't put the brake on. He would speed up to signal to them, "You better part." And the sea of bicyclists would just part as we sped through them.
It's like, I move now. You better move too.
It was amazing. They just have such a very different sense of the value of life, and
It's like New York in a little way, you know.
it is. And Shanghai today is like New York, only cleaner, and it's a very
I
different.
can't believe it's cleaner. They have like
it's
double the amount of people.
It's a
and-
better. It's probably a better place than New York right now
wow.
in terms of economy and cleanliness and kind of going up in the world.
Yeah. I mean, I think visiting Asia and just I really want to see like where's the Buddhist temples at? Is that in Mongolia or
They're in lots of different places. There's some in India, which is kind of the origin, but there's quite a lot in China and places like that.
I think that
Indonesia.
that'd be really neat.
Yeah, it is so different from our kind of European Western
Yeah.
culture, and it's the most of the world. Like most of the world is Asian.
That's true. Well, like I saw the newest Doctor Strange movie. One of the people was speaking Spanish. She's from another metaverse, and she's like, "You guys don't speak Spanish?" And they're like, "No." And then the Sorcerer Supreme is like, "Yeah, this guy's silly. He doesn't know." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like to be honest, I'm surprised that like Spanish or some type of like romantic language like
Yeah.
that isn't the most common, and it's actually English. It's so surprising because
It is amazing how small a percentage of the population the English-speaking world is, and how much it still dominates
so dominant.
the world. But you know what? Even in America, we're eventually going to be 50%, multicultural area. The
Especially in
wo-
SoCal.
yeah, I mean, I grew up here, and Los Angeles is such a unique place, even in the rest of the world. There's so
Yeah.
few places in the world where all the cultures, now they still tend to stay to themselves, but
They embrace each
but
other
you-
a lot, though.
we go to our Target, and there's so many different people in that Target,
Yeah.
and you can't do that if you're in China or
Mm.
all these other places.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what really stood out to me the first time that I was like, wow, LA is actually pretty cool, and they really have a sense of culture and everything. It
Yep.
was at Dodger Stadium.
Oh.
Love Dodgers.
Yeah.
Love 'em. Dodger
Yeah.
games are best. They had a full night. I don't remember what it was called, but it was appreciating the Hispanic culture and
Yeah.
what are the land that we're on. It is. Oh, it used to be owned by other people,
Yep.
Native
Yep.
American, Hispanics, all of that. And they had a whole night, and I was like, wow, that's really great. Like, super cool to see such a large organization really embrace what it's around and like what it's
Well,
been through.
Since I grew up here, I very much grew up with a Latino culture, and originally there was a pretty strong black culture, but not as much anymore. The When I would go visit other places in America, like I had a job at one time where I went to Sprint in Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
and I would, after being in Los Angeles, you forget, and I would get off the plane in Kansas City, and it was like culture shock for me.
Only white people.
Everybody was
Oh
not
my
only white,
Gosh.
but they were like 200-300 pounds.
It
they were
isn't-
they were just totally different
Yeah.
from what we are here in
And,
Los
like,
Angeles.
No hate. Like every state and every place has their own stuff. But yeah, when you go, I went to Wisconsin. Even like to this day, I was like, wow, there are so many white people.
Yeah,
here.
you forget that there are other places in America where there's lots of white people.
It's like 90% white people. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
too many white people.
and
for
and
me.
it shocks your senses. And I if you are a Latino person, it's got to be 10 times worse.
Oh yeah, because you feel.
But even as
Odd
a
man
white
out.
person, you get so sensitized to everybody being different
Yeah.
that when you see them, just like my experience in China, when you see everybody kind of looking the same to you,
Kind of like
it's-
you.
it's weird.
Like,
It's like
Ew.
really like
yeah, I don't want to be racist to myself, but I'm like, come on, diversify a little bit, you know?
yeah. And
But I mean, we're gradually diversifying the whole world more and more each and every single day because
True.
travel and
travel, but now with
Communication.
globalization kind of dying and all the countries kind of, America in the future might be still one of the very few places that actually blends people. I mean, everybody else is
You think?
retreating. Yeah, they're all retreating to
Mm.
their own countries. And
well, with the whole remote work and everything, that is
You-
also changing the world.
you would think so. Maybe we all should invest in Airbnb because they're the only ones that can diversify
Hey.
our world.
Airbnb is amazing. Shout out to Airbnb. I mean, we went to Joshua Tree, started Airbnb. It was amazing.
It's a genius business, and it enables people to you can work in Silicon Valley now and be living in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean that is a beautiful world.
If you want to be closer to your family, you can.
Yeah.
And you can still have a great job and have a living. And it's great. I honestly am so for it.
That's why I think a lot of these small towns are going to start to flourish again, because you're no longer
Demanded to be.
Yeah, it's like it was a coal town. They can't get anything else
Mhm.
in there. Well, heck, start some software businesses.
Yeah.
Start
Digital marketing.
Be a call center for Google or somebody,
Yeah,
or
there-
Amazon.
I mean, there's so many jobs now that across the world you can go and you're like, oh, I work with some people in Germany once, and I was like, yeah, the time difference is awful, but when you really come down to it, the best people at their jobs are not going to be right next to you or in the same state. You really have to open it up. Going to the next question. You might need to take a shot of lemon juice for this one. Who's the favorite child? I mean, I have my guesses, obviously.
I'll tell you honestly, it definitely changes.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
Yeah,
I
'cause I've
consistently stayed at the top
Yeah,
the
yeah.
most.
I'm gonna say that you're probably able to be the favorite child for today because you're causing less problems.
I never caused
But-
problems. Are you kidding me?
But
You have so many problems. I am not one of them.
but there are other time periods where that was not so true.
that was back in the day. We're talking here now. We're talking. I'm being the greatest.
Yeah.
So what's the answer
Yeah. No.
today?
I'll give it to you for today. But
Okay,
it's
perfect.
a fleeting victory.
Mom, you're in the. Thank you. Going back to our next question. What is the best holiday?
Best holiday?
Yep.
Wow. Everybody always answers Christmas. Halloween to me is so
Really?
it's such a different type of experience than everything else.
I think Halloween is dying out. Hot
I
take.
hope not. I hope not.
I think it is. Who wants to walk around in the middle of the night?
But you get a chance to see your neighbors.
Okay, I think it's amazing.
You get candy. I love candy.
Oh, candy was amazing. I think one of the most educational parts of my childhood was bartering and trading for candy.
Yep. Yeah.
That
you
taught
guys-
me business skills beyond anything
Okay.
I learned.
That was arguing. I don't think you guys
No,
did
no, no,
bartering and trading. You guys just argued and got pissed
It's
at each
called
other.
a Milky Way is top tier, and that can trade you for 3 to 4 Snickers
Yeah, no.
at least.
It was just fighting is all I saw.
I don't know about that one. I would say personally, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I love
Thanks-
eating.
The food
I love eating.
is the best.
Lemon meringue
You get
pie.
to see the rest.
lemon
Okay,
meringue pie.
lemon meringue pie is 9 out of 10.
Yes.
I can't give it a
9
10.
out-
I can't
It's
give
like
it
12 out of 10.
Okay, you're biased. You're biased.
No, well, that's for sure.
That's for damn sure. 9 out of 10. I think the 10 out of 10. You might be a hater. I'm not gonna lie. Cheesecake.
Cheesecake
But I
is
can't
a
have cheesecake all the
close.
time.
Cheesecake is close.
With that raspberry
Yeah, but you're the type of person who's going to put peanut butter on cheesecake.
If there was a
That's
peanut butter
probably
cheesecake,
disgusting.
I would eat it.
No, it's probably disgusting,
100%.
but that would be you.
Why would you not want to eat a peanut butter strawberry
You
cheesecake?
cannot. Peanut butter is for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's what it was made for.
Have you ever had a peanut butter cookie?
Yes, I love Nutter Butters,
That's not a
But-
peanut butter cookie.
but Nutter Butters is like a classic.
Peanut butter.
There's no classic peanut butter on cheesecake.
Okay, I'm not saying that's the best cheesecake. I'm just saying cheesecake is the best with some raspberry sauce on top. Easily.
Yeah, well, I like being unique.
I'm not like the other girls.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Lemon meringue pie.
Yep.
Well, okay. Okay, now we're asking what I really want to know.
Uh-oh. I thought you wanting to know that you're the best child was
No,
what you
no,
really
that
wanted
was
to know.
that was just like a okay. Let's test the waters.
Yeah.
Now we're really getting into the nitty gritty. What? What you doing? Oh well, I'm taping it right now, so it's fine. Whatever. Getting down to the nitty gritty. I know. Yeah. In college, you had your fair share of fun times. You were in a fraternity for what, 2 years technically?
So it was actually my brother's fraternity,
Yeah.
and I was able to live there for 2 years and basically be kind of an honorary member.
I've lived in a fraternity house.
Yes.
You voluntarily did that?
And it was the the worst living conditions I've
Awful.
ever.
Atrocious.
I think it was a health hazard.
Oh, 100. It took years off your life,
Yes.
yours and mine.
Yep. Yeah, you
I-
could have been if it wasn't for that, you could have been
I could
a
have been the
Mensa
next-
genius.
Oh yeah.
It did something to my sperm, I'm sure.
God damn, UC Berkeley bullshit. Well, so you visited the house I lived in sophomore year, right?
Yeah, it's
You
a
saw
great
it
place.
in a pristine condition.
We did. You guys dressed it up for us.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It was never that good.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I never complained about it to you guys because, I mean, you don't really complain. It's college. You live it. You learn it. But dang, it was terrible.
Fraternities. I don't know why anybody would
It was
ever
sticky.
think that
24/7. The floor was sticky.
it's hilarious. You walk in and all you hear is your feet going.
It was
They grab the floor.
atrocious.
I'm surprised there's not like some guy, some dweeb in the corner who got stuck in the beer in the floor and they've never moved him.
I've been stuck here for 25
25
years.
Yeah.
It's not gonna let me go, man. But yeah, and we got our security deposit back on that. I was so surprised.
Oh,
That was such a pain, though. That
Yeah.
guy tried to steal. Scummy San Diego
Yeah,
real
well,
estate, man.
yeah.
Scummy.
yeah. Well, he was dumb to ever let fraternity
Oh, yeah.
guys.
If I'm
They-
renting out people,
They literally should just put a clause in all that say, fraternity guys cannot rent
Yeah.
houses. Period.
we were pretty sneaky with it,
Oh, I'm sure.
We're getting a pool next year. My new house. I'm so stoked.
Yeah, somebody is going to go to the hospital.
No one is going to the hospital. Mark that on your
Yeah, somebody is going to the hospital.
No one from our house will. We're smart enough. If some random person
Yeah.
comes over, maybe.
Yeah.
You're not my responsibility. But like
yeah,
you just came to my house, man. So in your fraternity days, not fraternity days, I mean, you're not a huge drinker, You partake.
So I don't really. I mean, we occasionally drink now.
Yeah.
We actually went to a friend's party about 2 months ago, and were not able to walk
Just
home.
blacked out.
We were
Oh my
just-
gosh.
We were really struggling to get home. But that's infrequent. In my fraternity days, oh yeah, we
So-
had the sailors' ball, and even more so in my Lair of the Bear summer
Okay, Lair of the
camp.
Bear is a scary place as a staffer. I feel like you do very
Yeah.
regrettable things
For
there.
for those who don't know, it's an alumni summer camp. It's a family camp, but the staffers,
College kids, all of them.
all college
There
kids,
are no
and
adult
there's
supervision.
no rules.
It is. I've been there for many years. I've had friends that went there. It's a great, fun place, but dang, no adult supervision is so dangerous.
Oh, the parties that they throw there are
I've
the
told-
most
I've been told they-
wicked.
They do acid and like, I was like, are you kidding me? And like, yeah, like we have acid parties like week.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you basically shot stations and anything they can create and force you to drink, they're gonna figure out. It's a competition between the staffers to throw the best
Yeah.
party.
So is hazing a thing?
It's not really hazing. It's really much more.
Voluntarily.
You're basically trying to mess with people the most. I mean, this is the type of environment where like 3 or 4 in the morning when everybody's shutting down the party and you're figuring out how you're going to put the campfire out. You got everybody, including women, taking off their clothes and peeing to turn the fire off. They're that drunk.
I want to be at that level, man. I've never pissed on a fire to put it out. I need to be there. I'll let you know when I get to that point. one day.
Yeah. It's not. I'm not proud.
Okay, so here's the question: have you done anything, you could say illegal, but now possibly legal drugs beyond alcohol?
Can I answer that with just the simple?
You can answer it with a yes or no.
No, I'll answer it by saying I went to Berkeley.
Okay, I mean we all know what that means. To everyone who knows Berkeley, that's great to hear. Was it only a part-time thing, or did you just not enjoy it, or?
So I'm the type of person who can take 2 chips and put the bag away and not have the rest
same
of the
here,
chips.
same here.
So I'm not somebody who will continue to do things. If I try something, it's more for the sake of trying, and I don't particularly enjoy being out of control. So really hard drugs would not be my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely a great thing to try things, especially if you know you're the type of person who's not gonna get addicted.
If I think the
Power to you.
majority of people are not, and
Yeah.
I would not recommend it for anybody
Okay, yeah,
who
let's
can't-
not recommend.
yeah. Anybody who can't put down the candy bar can't,
Yeah, that's
has
a great test.
Yeah, basically, if you've got willpower, maybe you can try it. But if
Yeah.
you don't have willpower, it's powerfully addicting
Oh yeah, I mean,
and ruins your life.
I've been around a bunch of people who have gone deep into illegal activities, and it does ruin your life. And you can get
It's-
out of it 100%. I've seen people who make big turnarounds.
Yeah, but you need friends often
Yeah.
to do that. I mean, you
I-
need people that care about
I've
you.
held a
Intervention?
Yeah, I've held one
Ooh,
before.
wow.
It was tough, man. It was one of my roommates.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But yeah, it's honestly way harder than you think for the person getting the intervention and the people actually
Oh,
putting it on.
Got to be emotionally draining.
It's really hard. Like, we all sat in like a kind of a U, put him in the middle.
Oh, this is like movie stuff.
Yeah, it was really something. He was in his room. I mean, I'm not gonna name names, but
Yeah.
he was in his room, and we all, like, a couple
Wow.
days before, were like, we need to, like, talk to this kid. He needs to get his stuff straight.
So like more of that's got to happen.
Oh yeah, and I think we helped him. Like, in his heart of hearts, I think we helped
Yeah,
him.
probably didn't
But he's
want to
obviously never gonna be like, I wish that happened or anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
so we invited him. We're all sitting on the couch. It was our whole house, and then a couple of his really close friends at state. And we basically sat him down for like an hour and a half, laid out all of the kind of bad examples he had set
Ooh,
for himself,
wow.
and we really had a plan going into it. We'd laid it out, who was going to talk about what, this and that, and he stayed silent the whole entire time.
Yeah. Well,
At
what
the
are you
very
gonna
end,
say?
we were like, like, obviously this is all love. Like, we wouldn't be doing this unless we really cared about you and wanted to
Yep,
see you
yep.
doing better, obviously. And he basically was like, appreciate you for doing this, but I'm gonna be going now. I was like, wow.
Ooh.
Wow. And I feel like it's hard. Like, I don't know what I would say in that situation.
Now you're gonna be defensive, and you got to let a person.
I was
be
honestly a
defensive.
little surprised that he didn't try to attack us back, and I think that was really mature.
Yeah,
but-
well, that's hard to.
Yeah, it's hard to take it to the chin and just be like, you know what?
Yeah.
I think he kind of realized it himself. He was a little out of control, but I was like, wow, like,
But knowing that people both care about you and also
think it's a problem.
don't think it's a problem, 'cause you're living this life of like, I'm just having fun, I'm partying, I'm
Mhm.
fine. It's those other people that are.
Yeah, it's always the other people. There's someone worse than me, you know?
Yep.
Like, why did you pull me over? Like, there was someone speeding 110.
Yep.
It's like, well,
yep.
you were just the one who got caught, man. Like, doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Yeah, well, stupid. Oh my gosh, I'm still pissed about that one. I got a ticket for not completely stopping at a stop sign, which I think
And it's the cop's fault.
it
Yeah.
was bullshit. That cop was having a bad day. I did not deserve that.
Somehow.
I was on the way to get a haircut,
Yeah.
and wow, out of the blue, whew, and I was like, never been pulled over by a cop before. But I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
In the heart, in my deep heart, I was like, you know what?
It could save you because maybe you're gonna be just a little more cautious.
I was
right.
every time I get to that stop sign now, I had to make a complete stop.
Exactly.
So maybe it's a
This guy saved your life.
$300 life-saving ticket, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is atrocious how much I have to spend on a ticket, but you never know how it's gonna turn out in the end.
No.
So, but yeah, I think we're almost done. We're at 55 minutes. Time kind of flew by.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
It was a nice little beginning to hopefully a fun summer of podcasts. I feel like
it's a really fun thing to
it's a fun thing to do.
experience.
I hope everyone, I realistically, I think I spent $290 for everything. Everything that I needed to set up this
Nice.
whole entire thing. And it's not bad. Like, it's Amazon. I got it in one day, and it's pretty nice. I looked up a YouTube video. YouTube's so helpful.
Yeah, YouTube
I
is
think
it's insane.
Well,
Like
before we get going,
nobody should ever think
it
that they're dumb anymore
is
because they have
insane
YouTube.
the amount of stuff I know now just because of YouTube.
Yeah.
I know, like, stuff
Well,
I will never need to bring up in conversation.
Your other favorite phrase, knowledge.
Knowledge. Knowledge, man. It's
Knowledge.
crazy. 'Cause my philosophy is, the more you know, the better, obviously. And, what if that one time someone goes, you know how many species of bears there are? And you can be like, yeah, there's
How life-saving
16.
is that?
and they're like,
You might get hired because you knew
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
It's just it's mind-boggling.
It's like, if someone knew that and they talked to me, I'd be like, hire this kid.
The amount of people who are going to now get dates
Oh my.
because they
Hey.
looked some random fact up on YouTube and
You know what?
It made her interested.
I actually did look up a fun fact today. Fun fact of the day. Ding. Shrimp actually have their heart in their head.
Oh,
Look it up.
that's very bizarre.
Yep.
That
Why don't you think we eat their head?
I think my head's exploding.
Heart in their head. So that's
Yeah.
why you can eat the whole body. They have no intestines or
Hmm.
organs or anything. It's all in the head. You don't eat the head. Boom.
Well, I'm sure I could look up on YouTube some species that has their heart in their butt.
Oh,
'Cause
100%.
It's like seems like
There are
there's
so many
always
animals
some
nowadays,
strange.
especially in like the deep sea.
Oh,
That is scary.
yeah. You look at all these like sci-fi movies, and you think, wow, that's really weird, and then you see a nature.
I'm like,
yeah,
bro, that's
and
real.
you're like, wait, that's actually something that's in our seas.
And I mean, if you really think about some of the animals in our world, a centipede.
Yeah.
What?
How does it? It's got 100 legs. How does it make
Wow,
sure
like,
that they don't get
It's
tangled up?
insane. And then think about like a jellyfish. Why a
Yeah.
like it can't even like move.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, squids can actually, octopus, I guess, can attack and kill lobsters.
I didn't know if anything ate lobsters. I'm not gonna lie.
They can.
I thought
And-
we were the only people who ate them.
No, well, yeah, we're definitely
We're-
probably the
we're
the worst
overeating.
offenders, but
yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
like it has no structure that's not soft, and yet it can
squeeze
take
through
on
like a hole like this.
yeah, it's
Literally
true.
this.
That's true.
It's impressive. I think we got dealt kind of a garbage body, man. All we can do is just
Yeah,
walk and run. What?
yeah, and but who knows? What 1,000 years from now,
we might
with
have tails. We
genetics,
might have 4 arms.
we could be genetically crafting ourselves into some super species.
I want to be Ben 10.
Yeah.
Who do I want to be today? Dink.
Exactly.
Ben 10 was a great show.
That's got to come
For
back.
anyone who's too young for Ben 10,
Yeah.
yikes. You missed a good one.
Yeah, I think that was a Disney show.
Was it?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think so.
Cartoon Network.
Oh,
they made a-
maybe it wasn't.
I think it was a Cartoon Network
yeah,
one.
Cartoon Network. Oh, Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network was
That was-
childhood right there. Nickelodeon,
Yeah.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
That was some true OG stuff right there. Okay. Before we head out, you got any hot takes for these people?
I don't know if it's hot takes, but I would say that, like if I was talking to my younger self,
Oh, this is a
Um,
good hot take.
it's really important to make tons of mistakes. Like you'll never ever be successful.
I think I'm
if you're not
succeeding in making mistakes.
You're doing a great job.
Thank
doing
you.
a great
Thank
job.
you. I feel so accomplished now.
yeah. And the other thing is like be curious, because a curious person is always going to find things interesting. They're always going to move forward. They're always going to learn. Like they're always going to be interesting to people.
Yeah.
Like your YouTube thing.
Curious people make other people intrigued in what they're doing or what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
you ask other people questions if you're curious, and people like talking about
Oh
themselves.
yeah. Love it. Love it.
So those are things, and help somebody else. Like, if you can
Volunteer.
if you can help somebody else, you're just gonna feel better about yourself. And don't help them because you're gonna get something out of it. Just help them because it's gonna warm some part of your heart. So those are the things that I always think about, and like, I did a lot of those in my life, but boy, I wish my commitment to those now
Yeah.
was even greater when I was younger.
I think that is some great advice because I can already realize like I want to help, and I've done food drives and food for San Diego, the food bank, and like you do it, and then I don't know, you get caught up in whatever, and yeah, I feel like it's hard to stay focused and determined on those things, but if you do, that you'll be so fulfilled.
Well, and it doesn't have to be like the classics. What you guys did in helping your friend in the intervention. I mean,
Oh yeah.
or somebody having a friend's having a bad day, and you're just like, hey, let me go, buy you a dinner.
Yeah, like you want to get coffee or
Right.
that could make someone's day.
It's really very simple things, and it's amazing how much our world right now is suffering from the fact that everybody is just more into themselves.
Yeah, I mean, social media is crazy, but yeah, great for a podcast. Thank you for coming on.
Hey,
Holton's Hot Takes.
This fun.
New guest each week, new location. That's the plan.
Good plan.
Good plan. All right, later.